Hey, what is up everybody? Michael Crump back here again, talking about the latest and the greatest in PlayStation homebrew news and much, much more. So the first thing that we're going to kick off with today is that Gezine did release Luac0re 1.1, which did add the European version support for Star Wars Racer Revenge. Now, one thing that we learned about Luac0re when it was released just a few days ago was that Luac0re is a master core variation that uses Lua script for easier exploit development. So basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be able to send these .lua files over, and of course they can run different pieces of custom code, such as this one right here, which is just sending a quick notification saying hello from remote Lua. Now, we did see in the README that while Luac0re works on every PS4 and PS5 up to the very latest firmware here, but we also saw that you cannot use the network if you're using a PlayStation 5 on 8.00 or greater. And that is simply because Sony blocked the socket creation with these non-AF Unix domains. So that Star Wars Racer Revenge disk right now will only help you on a PS5 8.00, but it still hasn't even been chained with a kernel exploit yet. So really the most that you can do with this at this moment is really just coming in here and going to the payloads and sending the payload that has already been created for it. Now, flipping over to another gigantic update, and that was that Gezine also updated Y2JB to version 1.3. Now, if you aren't familiar with Y2JB, this is a userland code execution that uses the PlayStation 5's YouTube app, and this is currently the go-to method that most people are using. I know there's been some people on 4.03 that's been asking what's happening to the UMTX2 web host. Well, for the most part, people have kind of started moving on to Y2JB since at least it supports a 4.03 firmware PlayStation 5. Now, jumping back over into the releases here, we can see that with the 1.3 changelog, it did a make kill YouTube stable. It added the DLSYM offset prediction. So this is going to make it a little bit more stable because it does have the offsets. It also made the PSN pop-up disable stable, and that it made the YouTube 2-second limit removal stable, and then it fixed this bug right here. Now, I know that is a lot of fancy words here, but in short, the new Y2JB 1.3 does auto block YouTube from updating. Now, if we scroll down into this, you can see that he has provided the backup file in case you just want to restore a system from scratch using the latest backup, or you can download this zip file right here and extract the files manually. And here is the content of that zip file, and we can see there's just a download 0.dat. Now, in order to do this manually, you would need to install the YouTube app and then FTP to this directory here, and then download the download 0.dat and then send it via FTP. But the really good news about this is that we've also seen the Y2JB Autoloader get updated, and this is really the way that we want to update this application. So again, for those that do not know, there is a PS5 Y2JB Autoloader, and this is an automated payload loader for exploited PlayStation 5 consoles. Now, there is a bunch of instructions in here on how to set this up. I also have a video here on how to set this up that I'll link to in the description. But if we just go ahead and go back up and we jump over here into the releases, what we can see here is that the full changelog from 0.3 to 0.4 has a couple of different things in here where they've added an offset, updated the FTP server ELF, but let's take a look at what the notes say here. It says, by default, Y2JB Autoloader does not utilize the new kill YouTube.elf from the upstream Y2JB project. So if you experience stability issues with the current auto close method, you can use the kill YouTube elf as the final entry in your auto load configuration. Now, in order to get set up with this, we need to come right over here and download the latest update. Okay, so go ahead and connect up a USB drive, and in the root, we're going to paste it. And yours should look just like this one. And then of course, inside of that is all of the newest files. So let's go ahead and switch over to my PlayStation 5 and update mine. Okay, so back over on my PlayStation 5, this is my 10.01 system here. And right there, as you can see, I do have YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and press X on this to go ahead and start it. Autoloader, and see if it extracts here properly. So we can see right there, it is starting the extraction. It says it is loading the case stuff. Now it is serving the elf loader. And right there we go. It looks like it has been finished. And it looks like we are now completely updated. Okay, so I went ahead and I rebooted my console here. So let's see if it actually updated by running Y2JB again here. Okay, so there it goes. It did update. We can see Autoloader is now at version 0.4 and Y2JB is at 1.3. Next up, there was a pretty hot update from Best Pig over here, which states, "I'm cooking back pork." It says that we finally removed the /system modification requirement, so it's finally much simpler than before, and now it only uses dump runner, which is EchoStretch's tool. There will probably be something public in the next few days. Now, this is definitely something that we all want, especially those users that are stuck on 4.03 that have been waiting for something to come out where they can play some of these new games like Black Myth Wukong, but only time will tell. Now, next up we have another post from Gezine here, and it states, "Just sent another report to Sony and that they hope that they triage these faster in 2026. Now, this is pretty interesting because over in Discord, he had just stated that he was updating his second PS5 to the very latest firmware. And so by the looks of this, it looks like he found something else, as there was another report that was sent to Sony. Now, what exactly that is, we obviously do not know. Next up, there was an update over here from EchoStretch, and this is Dump Installer 1.01 beta. And with this new beta, he added the ability to add the app icon sound. So now when selecting your game, not only will you get the title card, but you'll also get the associated sound that plays with the game. Again, this is pretty easy to get started. Just go ahead and download the dumpinstaller.zip file. And then just copy these 3 files right here into a Homebrew app folder, and you'll be up and running with this. Those of you who have been checking out ShadowMount by Void Whisper, we have seen a new message come through, and it says that it is leveling up, and it now includes a built-in web server. So I've added direct game launching, so using a PC or mobile app, force rescan, and a full GUI for configuration and live debugging, plus separate game counters for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. There is a short video that was included with this, and you can see it states here how many total games that there are, including your PS5 and your PS4 games. So here it shows what the new graphical user interface looks like, as well as there is a configuration in here with custom paths and things like block list. And then it looks like there is the ability to see the different types of system logs. And so, yeah, this is what the interface looks like. It looks very beautiful. And we can see that there's a few options up here at the top to force rescan. So I would be looking forward to this coming out pretty soon. And the last thing that I will leave you with is that today you might have started seeing some of this information floating through about maybe a possibility for a downgrade. So I believe that in this message here, what it does is it's kind of showing an internal PlayStation registry entries that are related to downgrading. Now, I will say that I believe that they think that this downgrade functionality does exist. It's only for the PlayStation 4, but it is not something that is going to be available to users, and also it not being a jailbreak. So we'll have to see what comes out of it from there. Anyways, that is going to do it from here. Don't forget to follow me over here on X. If you like to hear about some of this stuff a little bit before it hits my YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would also really appreciate you sharing this video with others on X or Reddit, etc. Anyways, thanks for everything, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out.